Hey there, and welcome in. I see you found the right spot to be on this beautiful morning or afternoon or whenever you happen to be listening. This is episode 216 of Convincing Idiots. This week, we are going to be doing reviews. We're going to be talking about Agatha All Along and rehashing that series. We're also going to be discussing a little bit of the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight, as well as discussing new music and how often we listen to it. And furthermore, we are going to be reviewing some of the top 5 songs in the Billboard charts as they currently stand and give them our own ratings. So without further ado, let's start doing some reviews and start the show.
You guys enjoy your whatever that is.
All right. Test.
Test.
What call it again?
Convincing Idiots.
Convincing Idiots.
Called it ham gravy.
I informed them that I sided with the stat man, not just anyone's opinion, the stat man Brian Fisher.
These kids today.
Jingle All the Way is in fact the best Christmas movie of all time.
I need to get Grandma a present, and my herpes is flaring up. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yo. I'm the millennial
We're
Santa.
3 friends representing 3 different generations. That's our whole shtick. That's our thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nick got the whole poop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm standing in the sea
Caucasian.
breeze, holding a turd, just mightily. I'm just going hitting hats.
Anyway, on a lighter note,
Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the vodcast. Welcome to the broadcast. Boys and girls, welcome to the show. This is Convincing Idiots. My name's Dean, the Zennial.
I'm Brian, Gen X.
And I am Millennial Nick, and we are Convincing Idiots, a weekly podcast of 3 friends representing 3 different generational points of view. We get together here each and every week and discuss all things nerd and pop culture and anecdotes, items of the day, as you will. That and so much more. So thank you for joining us. If this is your first time joining us, well, let's take this relationship to the next level, shall we?
Lead
Not
to the
just
potty, bitch.
merely you listening to the podcast, but why don't we take this to the next level? Why don't you go to all of your favorite social media accounts and find us there? Follow us, like us, subscribe to us, rate us, review us, all that good stuff. You can find links to all of our socials on our link tree. So just go to Google and type in Convincing Idiots Linktree, Linkree. You can find all those links, like I said, as well as our link to our merch store. The holidays are right around the corner. Might be a lovely gift. Perhaps, this new podcast that you have found that you love so much, you want to share with the loved ones in your life. And maybe what better intro than to get them some Convincing Idiots merch for the holidays. You can find all that and so much more on our website. That's right, convincingidiots.wordpress.com. So be sure to head on over there as well. Give us some love. Click around on our buttons, and let's make a thing of this. So
I want you to click on my button.
Yeah. Click on the Dean button.
Yeah. No, I was actually personally talking to you, Nick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I will warn you, if you do click the Dean button, your cursor's going to smell a little funny afterwards, but that's okay. It's fine.
There's nothing that old penicillin won't clear up.
Gentlemen, how are you? Brian, what's new, man?
Too much, man. I just mentioned off camera my lovely daughter and her now
Lovely
fiance.
Fiance. How dare I? Fiance.
Yeah, weird to say. Yeah, but they just put
Joey.
a deposit down on a lovely wedding venue for October 2026. So
Yeah.
things are getting real, progressing.
They're
it's like a nice
serious,
place.
eh? Like they're getting pretty
That's it.
serious.
Can you
Wow.
imagine?
Yeah.
Think of it this way, Brian. By 2026, you could have a new son-in-law and probably 5 new listeners to this podcast. That's
yeah.
crazy.
Yep. 5 new
Set your
listeners,
sights
1
high.
more
Yep.
YouTube subscriber. Yeah, lofty goals. We can set
That's right.
goals.
Yep.
We can set goals. Yeah. That's about it. We'll talk about it next week, but we'll see at least Dean and a few guys tomorrow for a gathering over at friend Jeff's house. We'll talk about that more next when we reconvene. Of course, now we're shooting this the Thursday before Thanksgiving, so I
True.
assume we'll be taking a little break for the holiday next week. So we'll also take time here to wish you and yours out there a very wonderful Thanksgiving week with loved ones. Hope you have a great time.
Celebrate properly. Give somebody the
Yeah.
smallpox blanket.
Sure. Yeah. That's about it, man. Not a whole lot else my way. So, Dean, how are you, sir? What's going on with you?
Oh, I'm not bad. What did I do here? I don't know even
You got a Christmas tree.
I did get a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Family, we went out to Gale House Farms and Christmas trees. That's probably their correct name. And we cut our own down. And we're like goddamn Clark Griswold here. We got up under there. Carter cut it down. Nora drug the tree to the front of the front building where you pay and everything. Drug it to the car. I didn't have to do shit. It was fantastic. I really suggest that's the way people should do their Christmas trees.
Now I have to ask. I've never done that. What do you put it? What are you dragging it on? Is it a wagon?
They give you a little sled, like a little plastic sled with a rope tied onto it.
But if there's no snow, you're just dragging it across grass, and does that work all right? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wasn't dragging it, so it was fine for me. I had no problems.
You'd have to ask the tiny girl who drug.
Yes, the tiny girl should. She'd actually know. She didn't have any problems.
He was back in the car with a flask. Like she
That's
got
right.
Yeah.
Did she get it strapped to the roof yet, or like what's going on?
No, we didn't have any rope, so we had the kids both up there holding it while we were driving.
Yeah, that's good.
Fun.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it was
that
fun.
makes sense. Yep.
So, other than that, we decorated the tree. It looks lovely. Megan ran the lights for 4 days or something like that. And it took 4 days for her to plan the light situation. And then, 2 days to actually execute. There's a little precision going on here.
All right.
But it looks fantastic.
4 days.
Well,
does that make all the bulbs light, or what's going on there?
No, she took she had the smaller strands, right? The smaller bulbs, ran it vertical up and down around the tree, and then took the medium bulbs and went around it on top of that.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can see this.
Just kind of throw a strand of lights rolled up into a ball at the tree, and however it lands is usually kind of how it's lit. There you go.
It'll be 2 days until you realize that with whippering that Gizmo's in the middle of those lights.
Tree smells like piss.
Oh, it's fine. He loves it. He loves it. No, but that's about it for me. And now watching the Browns game and talking to you assholes.
Okay.
Nikolai, what about you?
I had a nice little weekend. This was Oliver's birthday weekend. So we got to celebrate. I now have my youngest is 9 years old. Last year of single digits. So we had a good little, birthday. We went out to dinner at Red Lobster. He likes shrimp, tail and all. So we went out to Red Lobster so he could eat the shrimp, tail and all.
Wait.
We talked about this last year, I remember.
Yeah, he eats the tails.
He eats the tail of the shrimp.
He'll eat
the crunchy shell.
Yep. And not only does he eat the tail from his shrimp, but if you leave your tails, he will ask if he can have them as well. He likes the tails.
Do you have a 9-year-old son or a goat?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
That's fair.
Yes. But no, good dinner and everything. This weekend was basically just filled with the middle school musical, which they did Moana, their rendition of Moana, and Lane played Tamatoa, the crab, and so had a singing role and speaking role and all that stuff. So it was very good.
I'd have been there if I wasn't told the wrong day.
Well, you were correctly told the right day as soon as I found it. You knew as soon as I did. I found out the first night.
He texted us. Told us.
I texted you guys immediately because
but he had said. Remember, he had said the Saturday or the
Sunday.
Sunday, but then he
Thursday
came
and
back
Sunday is what we were told.
Yes, but I did the scheduling to accommodate Sunday. It wasn't like it
Oh, I
was an
see.
immediate
Yeah.
text. Like it was
Yeah.
like days after that you told us the right date.
Well, it was, yeah, because we didn't know until the middle of the week last week what the schedule was for him to play the role of the crab, and then basically the opening night we only found out because we opened the program and saw that they were not listed. Like, okay, so
Okay.
if you're familiar with Lane, that's pretty par for the course. It's the information you're getting is, you get what you get, and
Okay.
you still might have to research a little bit and fact check,
Well,
but
regardless, I apologize for not going.
no, it's all good. It's all good. At any rate, it was a great show. I saw it 4 fucking times, so it was fantastic. I
Singing along
know it
every date, huh?
inside and out. Yeah, it was fantastic, and got to spend a lot of time with our good friend Aaron Blake as well, as we sat together for a couple of the shows and stuff, and but yeah, it was good. I mean,
Is he still saving people money with insurance?
he's still saving people. As a matter of fact, he just saved me money today because I now not only am a proud policyholder of auto insurance through Blake Insurance Agency, but now I'm also a part of the homeowners insurance club with Aaron Blake as of today, as a matter of fact.
So you're telling me, you know what? There's not even we're not even.
I mean, I feel like what better time is there?
Time to tell you?
I mean, I sit before you, a testament of the brilliance and the compassion, and just the all in all helpful guy. I'm a testament of who exactly Aaron Blake is here today before you.
Well, it's because he's part of the area insurance agency,
Yes.
Nick. It's located right here in Barberton, Ohio. Well, you know that because you were there and you.
I know, it was in Barberton, Ohio, sitting right next to the guy. So I said to the guy, he says, I need homeowners. And he says to me, all right, you got it. There it is. Yeah, we bundle. Now we just bundle. And there you go.
You bundled, and you save money by bundling with Aaron
We're double
Blake.
saving. Yep.
That's right. And you could attest firsthand that he, with honesty, decency, and affordability, this guy's saving money. He's treating you right.
Yep.
What more can you ask for?
Not much. Other than he did have some football games on his phone while we were. This is like third or fourth run of the play. I mean, but there again, consider a guy.
Right. Helping you out and helping the kids out.
Sure. Yep.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to save money like that, if you want to be treated with such with joy and comfort and joy, you want to call 234-571-5359 or visit BlakeInsuranceLLC.com for your free 5-minute quote today. And he will save you money and maybe show you a football game when he should be watching a play.
That's right. Comfort and joy.
Comfort and joy.
Home and auto.
Actually, since I have the tree here, real quick, did I do this last year? Did I show you guys the generosity that what Aaron Blake is? Last year or the year maybe the year before, he made me a Christmas ornament. This is not a joke. This is not a bit. And I always forget. I was too far away last year. And it hangs on my tree. The kids make sure they have it right here in front of me, in front of my chair, so I can see it every day. A homemade ornament with my face from our 20s. And I might be inebriated in both back and forth, backside and front side.
That's fantastic. Nice.
And so this side.
In his defense, it's hard to get a picture of you not inebriated, though.
That's true. That's true. Especially back then. I am relatively clean and sober compared to back then. That is the joy and love of Aaron Blake.
Yes, absolutely.
Good.
But yeah, it was a good weekend. So that basically wrapped it up. But yeah, it was a nice weekend all around.
Yeah, I forgot to mention Dean. He's been playing the role of Krabs since 1998.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's why I wear a thong so they can bungee jump.
Yep. Repeat performances, many. Many encores. Yep. All right. Well, have you seen anything, Nick? You want to recommend an idiot review, sir, over the past week?
I have, and actually, I finished this up. If I were here last weekend, which is another reason I was not here last week for the shows, that was the opening night of the musical, so
Mhm.
didn't work out last week to be here. But I have a couple weeks ago finished Agatha All Along in its entirety,
Okay.
and
All right.
absolutely, it is hands down my favorite Marvel show that I've seen.
Hold on real quick. Did you see anything else?
Did I see anything else?
Yeah.
Like other reviews?
No. For your list of what you're about to say.
I was gonna mention not really. No, I mean not really.
Okay, because we could take my time because I haven't seen anything. So if you guys want to
Okay.
talk real quick about Agatha real quick,
Yeah.
'cause I haven't seen anything. So, all right. So what did you think?
I thought it was fantastic. I really liked the feel of it. I thought it did a good job of like the twists and turns were abundant, right? Like it always
Yeah.
at no point did you ever, I mean, you really never felt you knew what was coming next. It was very
So,
hard.
spoiler
thing to
alert
predict.
in 5, 4, 3. All right. So
let it all fly. Yeah, right.
yeah. It's been It's been out for a few weeks now, and
Yeah.
And according to certain comments in our YouTube section, we talk about things months later. So,
Mhm. Yep.
So I think it's all right. Did you expect the ending, or did you like the ending? Her being a ghost at the end. Did you?
I didn't mind it.
Okay. All right. So you didn't, Brian. Nick, you didn't mind it.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. Yeah. I thought the storyline was very cool, just with Wanda's son and everything. And I don't know. Yeah, it was just all in all really kept me. It was very dark. Yeah, and it definitely held my interest throughout the series.
Okay. Brian, you didn't like her being a ghost at the end.
No, I thought it was unnecessary. I don't know why I just don't get that plot point.
There is a story in one of the comics of her being a ghost where she was always there to help Wanda. That was in the actual comics. That was part of a storyline.
All right. Well, maybe that's what they're trying to do. But I just think they took an interesting character. Now, again, there's so many, the actress is scheduled. They want her, who knows how expensive it is to hire, who, whatever. But, it I don't know. I feel like it complicates it. I think it makes her, it makes her more expensive to return, maybe, unless they're thinking they're going to try a CGI route or something, perhaps with the ghost, and then pay and go that way. Maybe, I don't know. But
well, think about it this way. Think about it. It could be a clever plot point for different stories going forward with Wanda or the Vision Quest series. You could see she can be anywhere at any time. She could always help, or you know what I mean. She is Kit from Knight Rider. She is just the ominous voice in the background. She can't. I mean, yeah, it showed that she could put that clip on, so she might have limited powers in like touching things. But I think she's able to play that almost a Jiminy Cricket conscience role. You know what I mean? Always kind of being there for people. Or if you want to go, my favorite, Quantum Leap. She's Al. She's the hologram who can, go find this person there. He can't touch her or anything, but he definitely can go and locate and see. I don't know. I'm just saying it opens up to different avenues of different storytelling.
Well, they do something creative with it like that, then okay. I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. So right now I'm lukewarm with it, but if they come back and do something creative like that, then maybe I change my mind. But
did you like the series as a whole? You just didn't like the ending?
Allie and I watched it together. We did enjoy the series. When we look forward to it, that was a show each week that we definitely looked forward to sitting down, paying attention to it, and just enjoyed it. So that was nice.
Yeah.
And it's over. Initially, I always go through this, it was great. Then as I go back and reflect on it, I'm like, was it as good as I think it was? I'm not really sure. So at the end of the day, she was just a bad person, right? She was just trying to manipulate everybody to take away their life force, I guess. She takes life force.
She murdered a lot of people.
prolong
lot
her
of people.
mortality. Is that what
Yeah.
it is?
Just basically built herself up over time, just doing it to coven after coven after coven, one
Right.
by one. And it was, I
Yeah.
did find it interesting that all the while you find out that that was the first time it actually worked. Like that
Right, because
you
it
don't
wasn't
know that
real.
in the beginning, but to get to the Witch's Road or whatever, that was the gateway had never been opened before.
Well, it's
Wicked
because-
opened it, right?
Well, right.
Wicked opened it up. Yeah.
Well, but actually, the road isn't real at all. It was all in his head. It was him, kind of the way Wanda put the spell around Westview. He put the spell and created it in his mind. That's why everything that you saw along the road and all the different challenges they had to do were things around his bedroom that he was familiar with.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
So
so
the
interesting.
road-
I never picked up on that.
Yeah, the road wasn't real at all. The road was a spell or a, whatever she did, with casting.
Yeah.
He did the same thing. That's what he did. That's why she was so surprised, like when, that hexagon appeared or in the door appeared. If you look at her face, she's shocked because it's not real.
Right.
And I'm assuming she knew the whole time because she knew who he was. She understood who he was, I think. If not, it was very quickly understood.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And where
Interesting.
was her son? She said, I can't face him. Where is he at?
Well, he's dead.
I
So
got
he's
that.
in
But she said,
Valhalla.
I can't face him. She said that at some point, talking about her
She
own
said-
son, right?
What? We don't know. You don't know if that's who she was talking about, because if she dies and goes, she died and became a ghost, so she didn't go to, wherever the sun went. Or could she be talking about because the sun was
Mephisto?
pure at heart? Correct. Sun's pure at heart, so he's going to go to Valhalla or heaven or whatever whatever realm you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
She's not. You know what I mean? Just because she sacrificed herself once for this kid doesn't redeem
All the bad shit.
thousands
Yeah.
of witches she killed. So I'm with you, Brian. I kind of think she's talking about Mephisto. I can't face it.
Okay.
So,
All right.
and the rumor is you're going to see Mephisto in the new Ironheart series.
Okay.
So
Weird place to
That's a very
introduce him, I
interesting.
guess. But,
Did not pick up on that. The whole
two different realms. You know what I mean? You can't. It's the weird supernatural realm mixing with the mechanical down to earth realm. It I don't know. We'll see how they work that out.
interesting.
All right.
Now I've got all new thoughts of about all things throughout the series now.
Yeah, everything because remember he was looking at everything at the end of that last, the beginning of that first scene. He was looking at everything and then remembering, that was in that room, or the leaves on his wall, were the leaves they were walking on.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. I didn't pick
Did you
up
pick
on
up on that, or did you hear that somewhere?
I heard that somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I'm not that.
No, but I'm just how did you fucking pick that up?
No,
how would you ever notice that?
That's Eric Voss on New Rock Stars.
Okay.
Yeah. That was yeah. I'm definitely not as smart as that.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Very cool.
Okay.
Yeah, that series was my after podcast watching.
Yeah.
I would watch that episode, the latest episode on Thursday night after we finished, I'm sorry, Jesus, Wednesday. What day is it? I don't even know. What fucking day.
We record on Thursdays.
Is it Thursday already?
It is still Thursday already. Still and also and still.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I did like Lady Death's introduction as well. I thought she
really
looked
good. Badass, wasn't she?
Yeah.
I like that half skull. That way you could still see her and still get and I guess the practical, that's a practical mouthpiece that they had put on her rather than put her in a CGI situation.
Yeah, it looked good.
Yeah, I liked it.
All right.
Yeah, very good. I will say, Brian, I have begun watching The Penguin, and holy fuck.
Yeah. See,
Man,
I know. I gotta watch
that show. Fucking yeah.
Damn it.
And it's like
I
you
watched
almost
it.
forget when Dean was saying, "Oh, you don't miss Batman, you don't like whatever," and it's like you don't even think of it. I mean, like, yeah, it's in that universe, but it's like you're watching The Sopranos or like it's a mob
Yes.
thing. It's not really.
Okay.
You're not. Yeah, you're not watching it thinking I'm watching a DC property necessarily.
Right.
You know you
That's right.
are because you know who the character is, but
Yep.
it's just a great drama. Like it doesn't need anything. Like it's just a fantastic fucking drama so far.
Yep.
So, but
Yeah, no gadgets, no fucking funky
Mhm.
umbrella shit
No fucking what?
things.
I haven't
You know
watched
what I'm
it.
saying? It's just not. It's just again, it's not needed.
Yeah.
Like you said,
Okay.
it's not needed.
I'll
Good.
start watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glad you're
Very
enjoying
good.
Brian, what about you? Did you watch anything?
I last evening, Netflix has a new documentary, The Fall and Rise of Elvis. So this is on Netflix.
Oh,
This is a documentary.
It's on my queue. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, so good.
I can't wait to watch that.
So this tells the story of Priscilla Presley's interviewed for this, Conan O'Brien, Bruce Springsteen. They're true Elvis fans.
You think Conan O'Brien?
I mean,
Maybe.
when you have great hair, you have
Hair
to comment on
influence.
great hair. I guess
That is true. And he's a hell of a guitar player too. So
Yeah.
Is he?
But it tells that storyline of when he, he's of course his career was on top, and then he faltered, was doing those crappy movies, kind of what the Elvis movie really focused on, and then he rose back up for that 1968 comeback special, and that was the pinnacle of this documentary. That we don't go into any of the Vegas stuff or anything like that. This was him returning back to the stage. Oh yeah, they have scenes of the special.
I love that fucking special.
I haven't watched it after I see
68 comeback special was so awesome.
Yeah, every clip I see, I'm like, I got to sit down and watch it. And an interesting tidbit there is, so by then Priscilla Presley, they were, not married all that long at that time, and that was the first time she'd ever seen him perform live on a stage. Was that comeback special, and she said she was like, wow, I'm married to this guy. I can't even believe it.
Yeah, sure. That's wild.
Yeah, but you look at that, man, he sounded great. He was having fun. He looked great. That was probably the best he looked.
Sure.
Maybe in the rest of his life was in that particular
That's his peak, his prime.
Yeah, man. So just if you're an Elvis fan,
like
just
the jackets or jumpsuits, but nothing is cooler than the leather pants and that leather jacket together.
Yeah.
Just fantastic.
The hair and just a great. No one else could have pulled that look off other than maybe Eddie Murphy, but other than, that's about it. So you definitely watched that. I started to watch the new episodes of Cobra Kai that dropped to finish up the final season. I think it is.
I thought they weren't coming out till December.
There's a good 5 episodes that dropped recently.
Oh shit! Then that's it. Then as soon as you're done with those, that's the series.
Okay. I'm enjoying that. You might remember the guys were promoting it during the Mike Tyson fight. They were there, if you remember.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know.
We didn't review that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. I have that more in the headlines. We'll talk about that a little bit. But it's fun. Yeah. Again, if you like the Cobra Kai series, it picks right up. It's just goofy teen drama, fighting. It just continues to be a lot of fun. And I did watch episode 1, Allie and I, of Cross, the crime drama series, Detective Cross on
David
Prime.
Cross.
I can't remember what the character's name is here, but it's a crime drama that just dropped on Prime. It's a guy from a best-selling novel. It's a character.
What are they trying to figure out?
Novel series. What?
I said, what are they trying to find out? Who nailed it?
See, you don't get comedy like this in many podcasts, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
I'm thankful this Thanksgiving for Dean's comedy.
Yes. That's right. That's it, guys. We'll talk about the Tyson fight when we get into the next segment. So for that, go ahead.
Well, let's fucking get over there then.
No, go ahead.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Second
We're gonna-
segment.
we're
Let's go.
We're going to ring the bell, and
Ring
we're
the
going to come back with segment 2, pop culture headlines, in our Ask an Idiot segment of the week. A very musical episode this weekend. I will tell you all about that after the break.
Ding, ding.
Gen X Brian here from the Convincing Idiots podcast. If you're enjoying our show, tell a friend. And if you're not, well, tell 2 enemies.
Four, three.
All right, welcome back to Convincing Idiots segment 2. Didn't ask you last round, guys, but what are you drinking this evening?
It's none of your goddamn business.
Yo mama's juices.
Oh, jeez.
Jesus, man.
God.
I realized
God
after I
damn.
agreed with you what you'd said.
Wow.
Creep.
Dean, what are you
Wow.
drinking? My mama's juices could use some drinking. Poor lady. God.
I am drinking. Let's get away from that. I am drinking Great Lakes Cookie Exchange. They put it out every year, and each year is going to be a different cookie mixed in with the stout. And this year it is a peanut butter blossom cookie exchange for Great Lakes. It is quite delicious.
Lovely.
I had that last week, and I could not drink it all evening. It's one of those like dessert type
Yeah.
beers. Drink
Yep.
one
Like, I'll
and
have
mix
a
it with
couple
others.
tonight. Yeah,
Yeah. But it's good. It is
I
good.
agree.
All right.
What about you, Nikolai? What are you drinking?
Well, I, fellas, am drinking something real nice. It's Clark from North High Brewing,
Yeah.
their Christmas ale. Yeah,
Hmm.
so it's quite good. I just picked it up.
Keeps on giving.
I was at Acme, yeah, and they had all the Christmas beers out, and I was like, and then this one caught my eye because it was called Clark, and I was like, never had that one before. I'll try it, and it's very good. I like it a lot. I would highly recommend it.
That's a real beaut there.
Real beaut, real
Yeah.
nice.
Allie picked this up. She picked me up a fifth of Cleveland Christmas whiskey in the Northeast Ohio area. It's a brand of whiskey called Cleveland out of Cleveland, Ohio. They make a Christmas spice blend of their bourbon whiskey every year. I just love it. It's hard to find. It sells like crazy. I think, yeah, but she managed to find a bottle of that and got me this bottle here. I'm holding up to the camera here. So this is Schmallow.
Nice.
Schmellow.
Yes. So it's by Hotel Tango out of Columbus, Ohio.
It's
Never tried it
schmerman.
before. I caught it online, but it's toasted marshmallow bourbon, gentlemen. So
That sounds delicious.
yes, and it's good. I'm enjoying it.
Is that the same people who did the it's the banana bourbon that I had?
Maybe they had that
Ooh, I
Swiss
think
Miss
that-
one as well. I showed you guys
it's
a
like
picture of.
monkey,
Yeah.
It's like Monkey Paw banana bourbon. I think it might be the same company.
Okay, but it's good. I like all that wintry bourbon
Oh, yeah.
stuff at,
Sure.
the holiday time. It just gets me in the extra little holiday spirit,
Sure.
if you will. Yeah,
Lovely.
I'm gonna get in
Yeah.
your spirit.
sure.
Right
right.
up in there.
Right. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow in the hot tub. You never know.
I mean, bubbles are moving around, and
That's
things are
right.
floating, and
Yep. Yep.
deviating
Yep.
from their original places.
I've
Yep.
done the scientific legwork on this. I've done the math and the science and even arithmetic and reading. It's not gay if it happens underwater.
Mm.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's
I concur.
that's the rule. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
What if you're in water, but what's happening is above water? What is that?
you're bisexual.
Okay. What if
Mm.
you're just near water?
Well, it depends on what you're doing to me, but
Okay.
we'll test that some other time.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. It's all in the name of science.
Right.
Does this
Well-
feel gay to you?
How about this?
Well, one thing we all watched, I believe, I know Dean watched it. He was over here. And of course, Nick was celebrating his son's birthday. Couldn't make it, but we had a little gathering to watch the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight last Friday. Had a lot of fun. Actually, that was something we did last weekend. I forgot to mention. Like, what did I do? Yeah, I had a bunch of people over Friday for that fight. So that was the first. That was the first event. Yeah, it was the first event over here at the rec room. So it was a lot of fun. First few fights are pretty good. The fight with the two women, that was really brutal and badass. Yeah. So a lot of people say that was the best fight of the evening. And a lot of people suggest that it appears to them that the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight was probably staged. And as you go back and look at the various videos on social media, there does appear, if they're not doctored, but does appear to be a few instances where it looks like, at least, if Tyson was able to, of course, now he's tired and everything else, but he definitely had some what appear to be pretty clear shots to Jake Paul's jaw. And if he would have taken it, at least could have probably rung his bell a little bit at the very least, but he didn't. It looked like he came out fighting pretty hard the first couple rounds and quickly fell off. Now, of course, again, Mike Tyson's 58 years old.
Not fleet of foot.
Yep. Apparently, he was pretty sick over the summer. I know he had that ulcer flare up, and that's what postponed the fight to begin with. Jake Paul's 30 years younger. Looks like he's in pretty good physical shape. So I don't know. So, thoughts on the fight? Did it appear staged to you? Was it entertaining at all? Nick, why don't we start with you? What are your thoughts?
It was, I think, entertaining. I found it entertaining just for the sheer curiosity of what was going to happen and that, but just also like, exactly what was going to happen. How was it going to go down? I was telling Robin, we were watching the fight, and I was like, all this lead up and all these people analyzing, and I was like, boxing has to be. It is the one sport that I can think of. And I know I'm wrong. I know this is wrong, but it feels like no one's actually a fan of boxing. Like, that's not anyone's thing, but they all, when there's a fight happening, everyone seems to be some type of expert on it. Sure. I've never come into contact with a human being in my life that, like, my favorite sport is boxing. I've never met one. Like, I don't think they exist. I'm sure I'm wrong, and I say that to play it up a little bit, but I was like, everybody seems to like have all these anecdotes and like understand it, but like I don't know anybody who like boxing's their thing. It's the only sport I can think of that I've ever seen that I don't even know a single person that's their favorite sport. But so I say all that to say I don't profess to know what I'm looking at here, or if this person had a chance here, that person had a chance there. I think what I went into it wanting, I think what a lot of people wanted to happen was they wanted a time machine. They wanted to see Mike Tyson step in a boxing ring, put on the gloves, and just turn into fucking 90s Mike Tyson. Yeah. And let's face it, that's not realistic. You know what I mean? It's just not. Even one of the announcers said, he's like, time undefeated. It is what and the fact that whether it was staged, I heard rumors that there were all kinds of clauses and stipulations in the fight, and how long it had to go, and that there were no uppercuts allowed on Tyson and things like that. I don't know if it's real. I don't know if it's just people talking or making excuses or what have you. At any rate, the fact that a man who is 58 got into a ring and didn't die with a professional fighter 30 years his junior, may not be one of the best, but is nonetheless a professional boxer. Like, there's something to be said for that. So my hat's off to him for that. Yes, what I was looking for was Mike Tyson to just show up and just, go nuts on that guy. Not even for, I don't have a reason to hate Jake Paul like many people do. I'm not really, I think people are just bothered by him because of the aura of who he is, but by all accounts, I don't really have a reason to hate this guy or want him to, get the shit beat out of him, but it's almost the legend of Mike Tyson. I think that's what people wanted to see. And when you're left kind of, that was underwhelming. If that's what you were really hoping for, it was underwhelming. So, I mean, it was entertaining. I stayed up for the whole fight, and I watched it. Fuck, didn't start till after midnight. So, stayed up, watched the whole thing, and, it was what it was. Certainly didn't live up to the hype, I don't think, of what I had expected. But at the same time, you kind of come back to what can you really expect anyway. So, but I don't know. What did you guys think about it, Brian? What were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I'm with you. It was really the nostalgia. I mean, it took us all back to remembering in our time. My dad would get some pay-per-view Mike Tyson fights, when I was living at home and having a couple of friends over, and a couple of his friends would come over. It was just a nice guy experience. That was, growing up, that was something you doing pretty cool with your dad, and watching Mike Tyson just was such a force.
Dominate.
Last about 45 seconds, literally, and that would be about it, but just he was such a tornado back then of
Really, Mike Tyson and my sex life has a lot in common.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But
just a fury of short jabs and then a quick finish.
Biting the glove,
Yeah.
I don't know. No, but that's it. I mean, but in the form that we watched it, it was a lot of fun to watch with a group of friends. So that was cool because people were commenting on the other fights, and we were having fun and drinking a couple of beers and talking, and that vibe I really enjoyed that last week, so that was if it would just been me sitting there in front of the television, I probably would have fallen asleep, literally,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, but it goes to show you though too, man, Mike Tyson he's a draw. He's probably the only boxer that has that, even as old as he is and everything like that still has that draw because of all the things you said, the nostalgia and how powerful he was, back in his time. And boxing just doesn't really. I mean, it's certainly not Jake Paul, for Christ's sakes. They got to.
No.
If that sport to come back, they're going to have some other legit fighter like that makes a name for himself or herself, for that matter, that brings in people to want to watch that sport. So I don't know. Dean, what did you think?
Okay, a few things. One, unfortunately, you're wrong, Brian. Boxing is Jake Paul. I say that as in boxing, or Jake Paul is what boxing needs. Now, let me explain.
Like a heel?
You used the exact right words. Professional boxing needs professional wrestling. Mm-hmm. It needs that spectacle, not just walk in the ring, winner. It needs that hype. It needs that grandeur. It needs that spectacle. People shied away from boxing when more exciting things started to happen. So when football, came into play, and you see the gridiron, people hitting each other, more exciting. Everything became more exciting around boxing, and boxing did not. So, because boxing used to be, honestly, up there with baseball. I mean, people were listening on the radio, would like listen to these fights, sit around, and it was a huge
Saturday afternoons on television. All up
into the 80s, with Hearns and Hagler and you had all of these guys that were bigger than life, and that dropped off because things became more entertaining around it. So the Paul of it all needs to happen to boxing. You need that spectacle. You need these celebrities to want to come sit ringside and watch this spectacle. They need a Vince McMahon. They need a somebody to come in and put some pizzazz on it. And maybe Jake Paul's that. Does he do as a fighter? Yes, because he can get people to fight him. But I think Jake Paul could also end up being a promoter. I think Jake Paul could come in when he's done and put together what boxing could be again.
I can see that.
So when you ask if the fight was rigged, I don't think it was rigged. I don't think it was fixed. I think they were going to get money, or Mike Tyson knew he was going to get money if he went all the rounds and didn't hurt this kid. Could he have? I don't know. I would like to think he could have. The way, like you said, some of those ones he didn't take, the shots he didn't take, I'm thinking those were the shots that said, if I take that punch, I don't get paid for that next round.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was too into his head trying to worry about getting the most out of this as you possibly can. So you gave everybody an 8-round or whatever it was bout when he used to give everybody a 8-second bout.
Yeah.
This was huge. And I think he just played it into what he should have. He should have played it into just taking care of business, getting in there, getting paid. People got to see Mike Tyson one last time. It was nobody's last time is what you want it to see. You're not John Elway where you win the Super Bowl and then right off into the sunset.
Yeah.
Not many people get to do that.
Yeah, you don't go out on your prime because if you were still in your prime, you wouldn't be going out.
Like, that's like professional wrestlers. When these old guys go to leave for the final time, they go out losing. They go out on their back to, because you're old and it doesn't make sense for a young guy to beat you, but you're giving something back.
Mm-hmm.
You're there too long, you're there to bring on the next crowd, right? The younger people. And that's what Mike Tyson did. Mike Tyson went out on his back, looked up at the lights to give shine to the next generation.
I do have a question. Why don't, what is it? Is it the fact that Jake Paul is flashy? Is that why people don't like him?
No, because we get to see with all of the stuff he does, if he would just be a boxer, it would be a different story. But he's been a douche podcaster for so many years and has shown people like the really douchey side of him. Is that the real side? I don't know. But people know him from his douchey side of podcasting and YouTubing is mainly YouTubes. I'm sorry. So they've gotten to grow up watching him grow up and just be a real piece of shit.
Yeah.
Is that an act? I would hope so. Because if not, yeah, I'm rooting for him to get punched by anybody.
Yep. Okay. All right. Longtime voice actor of The Simpsons. So I'm going to pause and recognize her for a minute. Pamela Hayden has announced her retirement. Who did she voice? Main thing was Milhouse, a main character on The Simpsons for all those years. So she voiced Milhouse. Let's see. As well as the school bully Jimbo Jones, so the ha-ha kid, Ned Flanders' son Rod, Chief Wiggum's wife, Sarah, and Lisa's friend Janie Powell. But certainly Milhouse has been a long time character on the show. And again, 35 years. She's credited in 694 episodes of the sitcom.
Wow.
And they're going to recast the characters. So quite the gig there. Just amazing. It just makes you, again, pause about that series in general, where somebody was on the show for 35 seasons and is retiring, and it's still going. Doesn't show any signs of stopping. As long as Fox will continue to air it, they'll continue to put out some good product, I think. So just
That's
an amazing run. So
it is.
Go ahead.
I got a question for you guys.
Sure.
What voice actor needs to retire for them to go, oh, we can't go? Is it Harry Shearer?
No, I don't think any of them at this point.
Tell me if the voice of Homer Simpson chooses to retire.
No,
that'd be a hard one to replace.
Isn't there one person that does most of the
Harry Shearer
does Bart and
that's a woman. That's a woman.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Who does
Nancy
doesn't
Cartwright?
she do a few of the kids?
Yeah, Nancy Cartwright.
Okay.
Yep.
But Harry Shearer does a lot of characters. Him and what's his name?
Hank Azaria.
Those two, I think, do the most voices on there.
Yeah.
So I think any one of them calls it quits. It's going to be rough to go on, in my opinion.
I don't think they'll stop it because of that. I think, though, as long as there's money to be made and Fox keeps renewing it, I don't see why they stop. It's too much of a money maker for the network, and then certainly the merchandise and everything else. So I think they
It's
would
hard
at
to argue with
least
like
try.
35 years too. I mean, like,
Yep.
it's-
Yeah. Yeah. Good for them. Good for them. Pretty amazing. We don't talk about new comic series too much, but a new comic series is making some news. This comic has it's for DC, not a movie. It's just a comic book series.
Okay.
Is now the number one selling comic of 2024 at just under 400,000 copies for the first issue of Absolute Batman. So now you may know that Marvel, they have like an Ultimate Universe series out there. So these are Marvel characters in like an alternate universe, and they call it the Ultimate Universe. So it's just a different take on characters. And that's where originally, like Miles Morales made an appearance in the Spider-Verse, was in the Spider-Man Ultimate Universe. And in that universe, Peter Parker was killed and Miles Morales replaced him. And then eventually, of course, they brought Miles Morales into the main universe. But I think DC is seeing because you could have a whole different take on a character and not interfere with the main storyline in the primary universe. So I think that's what these are, is the absolute version, versions of some key characters. So they're going to have Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman absolute universes out there. So this Batman here, I guess, is more brutal. He has kind of a different look to him. His suit is more like an armor looking thing. Like he's got like an axe or something like that. Yeah, something like that. But I'm intrigued. I think I'm going to pick up this series and check it out. And again, if you don't have the time or energy or wish to collect the normal universe, you could pick up these absolute ones and have a whole different take on the here. I began to recollect the Ultimate Spider-Man, and it's cool. Again, it's just different. So that's it. So I think the first like 3 or 4 issues are out. They're going to have a third reprint of issue 1 coming out here shortly. I think next week. Give the thumbs up on video.
We like that. All right.
Yeah. So So what are your thoughts anyway on this? So do you like the idea of these ultimate universes to have a different take on the character, or I'll just stick with the normal, main universe storyline? So and Nick, you're a comic collector at times. You pick up a few things here and there. So what do you think about this concept?
That's the fun thing about comics, right? Like it's for fun. Like it's for funsies. It doesn't have to be, you know what I mean? Like you said, if you don't like that particular story arc, then you can stick with your Batman you're used to, or whichever version that you like best. I mean, why not have some fun with it? Why not explore different different avenues and different options and different ways you can explore that character? I mean, I think that's a no-brainer, absolutely. And if it's not for you, don't buy it. Don't, you know what I mean? It's not. It's all of it's there for what? Your entertainment, just for enjoyment and entertainment. So it's for fun, and why not? What's more fun than kind of exploring different kind of character arcs and things like that? So I think that's a cool idea.
Very good. Dean, what do you think?
No, the same. I think every property should be. It's kind of like how Marvel on TV does What If. It gives you different. It's fun to see your beloved characters in different lights and in different scenarios and different situations. Why not? You could, like Nick said, you don't like one story arc, go to the next one. You might like him doing this in a black suit, or in a green suit, or there's so many options. You're drawing and writing the words. Play with it. Have fun with it. Enjoy it. Enjoy what you have.
Like the Marvel What If series, there were some episodes I really liked, and others I just skipped because I'm like, I didn't care. You don't need them. They don't go in conjunction with one another. You don't need to. They're all their own little story. Like I love the zombies one, and then there were other ones they weren't hitting. I watched 10 minutes of them, and it wasn't really.
That did so well that zombies is going to end up it's in production being its own series.
Nice.
Next October it'll be released. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Love it. Okay, yeah, I'm with you guys. Have fun with it. Yeah, why not? And it doesn't. And again, it doesn't have to interfere. You don't have to have all the pressure of tying it to the current. It's like the new Batman movies and the Penguin series. Talk about that too. That has nothing to do with the main storyline, the primary universe of Batman and the DC movie universe, so they can have a completely story and not feel pressure about it. Have a whole different creative take and great. Have fun. Perfect.
Think told correctly and explained correctly, you could have continued with the Henry Cavill Superman universe, and then still James Gunn could have done his own.
Sure.
Yeah. If you explain the whole, which kind of that last fucking Flash movie kind of did explain it. You could have, you could have ridden off that at the end of that and gone in many different directions for anybody.
You know what they should do really with that is they should consider doing the whole Kingdom Come universe in the DC universe. That's an alternate reality that has the older, like grizzled Superman. Bring back Henry Cavill for that. That would be fantastic. Where he's older with the gray hair and the black S, and he's just beaten down because the world they banned the superheroes, and he went into seclusion. That storyline is fantastic. Matter of fact, they brought in that universe. They've blended that in with the primary DC universe here and there. So do that. Just have fun. Yeah. So, okay. Well, we were talking, Nick, offline, and we had some fun with a comment that one of our mutual friends, all of our mutual friends made, and he likes a particular metal band and was just, seemed kind of obscure to us, but he was just shocked and dismayed that we were not
offended.
Offended that we never heard of a band called Acid Bath out there. So, if you ever heard of Acid Bath, please let us know. We listen to them; they're cool, right? But it is. For me, anyway, it's newer music to me because I'm not familiar with it, right? Sure. So getting into our Ask an Idiot topic of the week here, guys. So just in general, newer music, do you find that you feel you should make more time and listen, but you don't? Do you always make time? Do you prefer newer music, or do you tend to fall into more familiar stuff you've heard a lot, or is it kind of a mix for you depending on the mood, that type of thing? So, Nick, what about you? What about new music in your music rotation?
Yeah, it's definitely a mix for me. Like, I mean, I always have my favorites that are, there's some days I'm just in a mood for a specific band or a specific sound or a collection of bands that are, a certain sound or time in my life. But I definitely
listen to that CD of me just moaning.
That's true. That brings me back to a very specific, very specific time in my life. But I listen to a lot of new music. But I would say that I listen to new music as in in the genres that I'm already in. Like, I listen to a ton of new music that are punk bands, metal bands, hardcore, all that stuff. I'm always listening to new bands in those genres. As far as today's hits, top 40 pop music, some of them obviously, and this is a little, into our main topic tonight, but just through osmosis of pop culture and being out in the world, you get some of it, but I'm not out actively seeking out new pop music the way I am certain, genres of heavier music that I listen to. Same with hip hop. I love rap and I love hip hop, but I like the artists that I like. And it's harder for a new rapper to make its way into my ethos there. It's just it's kind of takes a while,
Old.
Yeah, right. True. Yep. So, but I mean, yeah, I would say especially there are days where I just like to get on, Apple Music is great. The algorithm, based on what you listen to, it's great at throwing maybe bands that you would like based off what you listen to. And there's always the new music for you kind of tab. Found some really great artists this year that I like a lot that are the hardcore bands and stuff like that. So I do work it in. But certainly you're the ones that are special to you are special for a reason. So you always keep coming back to that. I will say though, I always feel like when I'm listening to new music, I'm always chasing like the high of finding your next big band that means something to you. Like I'm always doing that. I feel like
When's the last time that's happened? When's the last time you heard a new song and you go, holy fuck, what did I just listen to? You know what I mean?
It was probably about 10 years ago. It was a pop punk band that I grew up loving pop punk and different bands like that. And then now there's like new pop punk that like, brings about different, it reminds you of all those bands you used to love, but it's current and it's new. And yeah, about 10 years ago, like I would say the last time that I found a band that I was like, this is like my new favorite band. And since then I've gone to see them a bunch of times and, like whatever, but like,
Parkway Drive.
Actually, Seaway, the shirt I'm wearing right now. I don't even know if they're still together because they've kind of been playing dormant since like COVID and stuff. But they were a pop punk band that came along, and I was like, man, they're just like, this is exact. I feel like if I made a band, it would sound like this music. Like this is what I would write, And it just every song, every album, like I was just like, man, these guys are fucking great. But yeah, every so often, Parkway's another one that before that, probably another 10 years prior to that I was like had such a huge hand in changing the style of like heavier music that I liked.
Okay.
But yeah, every so often there is, but because of those bands that, even in my adult life, a few bands that I have found that I really love, there's something about that feeling when you're just like, man, this is like, they speak to me, their music speaks to me. I love the sound. I love what they do. I'm always on the hunt for that again. I don't think that kind of hope springs eternal kind of thing. You're always looking for that next band that means something or artist that means something or speaks to you in that way, or at least I am. But what about you, Dean? You hear like new music today that you like or work that into your rotation very often?
Well, you guys know me.
Acid Bath?
I've never heard of Acid Bath.
You like Acid Bath?
It blows my mind, man.
Yeah, how have you never heard of Acid Bath? They've been lying. They've done nothing since 1993, and they only put out a 7-song EP. How come you don't know who they are?
Well, because I'm not. You guys know me. I'm actually. I spend a lot of my free time in the clubs. So
sure.
I am.
Yeah, the Barberton club scene is pretty hot.
The youths of today.
I'm hip. I'm down with it. I don't listen to new music, regardless of genre. But like Nick said, there is stuff just being in pop culture and being around, being alive, and you do hear stuff, and you do hear stuff. And well, I'll save what I was about to say for later, for the main topic. But yeah, I don't honestly, guys. I listen to a lot of podcasts when I'm driving around for work. I'm listening to podcasts. Occasionally, I'll flip on music. You know what I mean? I get in that mood. But when I do, it's gonna be stuff I from my past. And then even that, there's genres of that. I have a past of loving Godsmack. I have a past of loving Kenny Rogers. I have the past of so many different genres, so many different types of music. It's all what you're in the mood for, but it's always going to be for me stuff from my past. And I know that I actually, I'm not even going to ask, is that an age thing? Of course it's an age thing.
Sure.
And it's not even like, oh, I hate this music, because, what we're going to talk about later, that we've all heard this new current music. Spoiler alert, I didn't hate all of it.
Yeah, me too. Yep.
So, with that said, I'm not opposed to it. I just don't search it out. Maybe I should. That's actually kind of what made me want to suggest this topic of doing this, is because we should, because if you stay stagnant, you grow old. So, why not, if we're going to keep up on pop culture from movies and TV and comic books, why not continue to do it with music as well?
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I'm the same way. As far as like, and I working from home, and I could, in between calls and stuff like that, I could listen to whatever I wanted to, and it's not bothering anybody. It's not disrupting anybody. But I tend to, like you,
When you do it,
to
it's
put on
always Crystal
podcasts.
Gale.
That's right. Put on podcasts and stuff because it's calming, and it's just something there. Plus, honestly, it is interesting to me that there's a few shows I like, and just to hear other people do it, getting an interest doing this and this and that. But I don't see.
It's always Convincing Idiots because he loves your and my voices.
I'm working back through every episode. That's right. All
That's
200.
right.
And you have to listen to every episode at least 6 times to properly edit them. So
right.
Yeah,
that's right. He loves our voices.
Right. I just don't make enough time. I used to make it a point to listen to Apple, like the new rock station, every day for like an hour or two, just to catch something new. I think it was a band, Car Seat Headrest or something like that. That Allie and I picked up on that. We went to a show saw them at the House of Blues a few years ago, pre-pandemic, and we were probably two of the older people in the place at the time, but we didn't care. It was just fun. I'm like, how cool it was that we just listened to something new, picked it up, liked it, and went out, caught the show, and had an enjoyable experience.
Yeah.
I just need to do that more often. But I tend to fall back more into music I'm more familiar with.
How many people came up to you at that show asking if you were there to pick up your grandson?
Could have been at least a kid. That crowd.
But, well, remember when we went to the Buzz Bin a couple months back, Brian, with John, and we saw the opening band and the kid's dad that was sitting there like
bless his heart, man.
Yeah, man, fucking dad of the year right there.
He was, man. That poor guy. Super supportive dad, man. Yeah, but that's it. I've sort of evolved to where it's like I don't tend to watch a lot of movies and shows that I've seen before. I do enjoy certain shows like The Twilight Zone, occasional Seinfeld, the things that I know what it is and it's familiar. I enjoy it. But for the most part, if I make time to watch television, I'm typically always seeking out something new. And there's so much new content out there that's good.
Yeah.
I don't want to use up a lot of time on stuff. Right. I just don't do it enough with music, so I need to make more time to do that.
That is strange.
Yeah. I think
there's also an element to music, for me at least, and like as someone who does love seeking out new music, you get in where you're like, I want to sing along to something. Like, you know what I mean? I want something that like I'm already there with you. Like it hits me in there and I'm in the mood for this and give it to me. And I'm gonna sing it and I'm gonna feel it and I'm gonna, you know what I mean? Like,
you want to see the best concert in the world? Walk alongside me when I'm in the summer mowing the lawn. I will be belting out 90s country music till my little heart's content. That's my genre when I'm mowing.
Okay. Yeah. Feel like you're working on the farm?
Something. I don't know what it is. I just get in the mood to hear if I sing along with Randy Travis and Garth Brooks and whole deal.
Daisy Dukes, no underwear. It's quite the scene. Yeah.
Well, I'm not much older now, so I gotta be careful because my balls, could get run over by the mower.
Instead of the pockets hanging out from the cutoffs, it's his nads just fucking one out of each. Not a pant leg.
I had to tuck them into my boots.
That's right. All right. Well, speaking of new music, you alluded to it here. So for our main topic this evening, it is going to be centered around new music.
Hey.
And that's right. And we're going to tell you all about that.
Scared him.
Hi.
Right after the break.
Would you join us for a third segment of Convincing Idiots? Hell, I know I would. Hi.
How about that?
Mm-hmm.
And the 3 deuce.
Hello out there, and welcome to segment number 3 of Convincing Idiots. I'm Millennial Nick. That's Gen X Brian and Zennial Dean alongside me. And for our third segment, as we alluded to previously, we have been dabbling in perhaps we need to be paying more attention to some newer music. And where better to start than, like some of the top songs of today. So we decided for our third segment, we are going to take the top 5 current songs on the Billboard's charts
As of
and
Thursday, November 21st.
give them all a listen and see what we think. So we're rating them on a scale of 1 to 10, correct? Is that what we agreed
That is
upon?
correct.
Yep.
That is
Scale
correct.
of 1 to 10, low 1 being not good, 10 being perfect, whatever.
Yep.
Unless you've done
Um,
different scales that I don't know about.
Yes. So, would you like me to announce the songs that are in contention here, or are we going to go one by one?
I have an erection listening to your voice, so the longer I can keep this, the better life is. So
Well,
please continue.
Speaking of erections, you might say you're losing control of your dick, and that leads us, to our number 5. Coming in on the number 5 spot of the countdown, we've got "Lose Control" from Teddy Swims. Now, Teddy Swims' "Lose
Number
Control"
5.
is at number 5. That's right, Casey. Real quick before we get started, without saying
Say
what,
the number. I'm
without
going to do the number,
saying
then you say the band.
which one's which, we have 5 artists, 5 songs. How many songs were you guys familiar with of before coming into this?
None.
One. None? Or
None.
one? None. Not a one. Okay. There was only one of these songs I had never heard before today. And I did finally hear it for the first time. But it's not "Lose Control." So who wants to start? "Lose Control," Teddy
What?
Swims.
Okay. I
Or
thought
do you want to?
everyone.
I figured we talk about each one and then give them our rating.
There you go.
Yeah, perfect. That's fine.
So we'll talk about each song, kind of give it a thing here. So Teddy Swims, for example, I started listening to him about a year ago when this album first came out. I think it's called "I've Tried Everything But Rehab" or something like that, or "Therapy." That's what "I've Tried Everything But Therapy" is what the album's called. You guys, have you ever heard of Teddy Swims before?
Yes,
Nope.
he is the one that I've heard.
Okay, so that whole album, if you like this song,
Mhm.
that whole album is incredible. And I would almost even go so far as to say this is not one of my favorite songs on that album, but I
Really?
do like it a lot. It's very,
Okay.
very good. But that album is fucking incredible. Like when I first heard it and everything, like my overall opinion of him is he's got this very he's from Atlanta, I think. He's got a very southern twang to his voice. And you could almost, like, if you put it to different music, he would probably work as a country artist even. But I love the whole, he's got like a blues kind of vibe to his music. And I mean, yeah, I love this song. Like I said, that whole album he put out is fantastic, and this song is great. Every song on it's great. So I would say to both of you, if you like this song, if you liked what you heard, absolutely listen to that entire album front to back. It's
Okay.
so good. Yeah. So, but
What'd you rate it?
I'll start right out. I gave it a 9.
Hmm.
It's a good solid song. I had 8.5 written down as well, only because I was struggling. Like I said, it's not one of my favorite ones on that album, but standing alone, it is still an incredible song. It's catchy. It's got to be the voice. His vocals are incredible. Like the voice talent is there. It's got a good kind of sway to it. Like like I said, it's a bluesy kind of rhythm to it. But yeah, I liked it a lot. I'll say an 8.5.
Riz.
It's rizzed up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'm hip.
So, Hip Dean, keep going. The
Hip
music
Dean,
of today.
okay.
You've got the terminology today. We got the music of today. Go.
So this Teddy Swift, or Swims, just Swift. No, it's Taylor's brother. Teddy Swims. I've been hearing this song. I wasn't sure who the guy's name was until recently, but I've been hearing the song since it's been out. I've been here on different radio stations and whatnot, and I've been a huge fan. I've grown to really, really, really enjoy this song. So when I saw it on here at number 5, I was very excited, and then I made some notes here. his voice, I love the voice. Like you said, very soulful. The music's catchy and fun. It reminds me a lot of Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats,
Oh yeah, yeah.
which I'm a huge fan of.
Mhm.
And then it's got that real throwback blues and soul to it, which I love. And last thing I think, until today when because I just throw them into YouTube and listen to them, you can imagine my surprise when I found out he was white. That's not a joke. I honestly, for this whole time, thought he was an African American fella.
Oh, okay, that's surprising
So,
too. Yeah.
I did not know he was a tatted faced white Southerner. Had no clue. So, with that, I gave this song, and it's not just because of this. It would have been since I've been listening to it because I'm very happy to hear it every time. I give it a 10, especially for newer music right now. I loved it. 10.
Nice. Yeah, of the ones on here, I'm like, this is the one that probably Dean would like the most. Yeah.
Loved it. Love it.
Yep.
Brian?
I enjoyed it. I mean, I gave it a 7. All the notes here. I mean, it's a soulful voice, kind of a slower vibe, but good. The vocals were good. Good lyrics. Enjoyed the song, and I would certainly go back and listen to more of his music based on that song. So, yeah, but it wasn't my favorite song of the 5, but it was a solid song for me. So, yeah, very good. It's not surprising that it's a popular song right now. So,
nice.
Before we move on, Nick, again, what was the name of that album? Because, like, I even told Megan this. I would go out and buy the record, like, a vinyl of his. What was
I think it's called I've Tried Everything But Therapy, or Except for Therapy, or something like that. There is an expanded, there's the original edition that came out with like 9 songs or 10 songs. And then he put out a version of it that is a double album that still has those same 10 songs, but also more. And then there's remixes. So if you go on like the discography, there's going to be a few versions of it. But yeah, the whole thing's good.
I mean, I'll go to the record store, look for it.
Yeah. Just think of what your personal mantra. That'll help you remember the title of the album.
Yeah, that's better, right?
Yeah. Okay, so Brian, you left off. Why don't we?
Quitter. You jive Go ahead. Sorry.
Why don't you? Before since we'll just leave off with you that way, everybody else gets a chance to start. So why don't you give us number 4?
Number 4.
Coming in number 4.
Number 4, Sabrina Carpenter, the song Espresso. I gave it a 5.5.
Okay.
I think it was it's a fun vibe, but to me it sounded like a cookie cutter pop type song for me. Fun, upbeat. I could see where it's popular, but it didn't necessarily stand out. One thing I did catch, which I didn't realize, but SNL's had a recurring skit this season with
Can't not hear Domingo.
Yeah. Right. So the girls go out on a bachelor party and this and that, and they sing the song of what happened. I didn't realize they were singing to the tune of Espresso, which Ali pointed out was indeed the case. But so again, it's fine. It's okay. So just a little bit above average for me, 5.5.
Yeah. Did you see that she just played Madison Square Garden the other night?
No.
And she actually, in between songs, was leading into that. And she was talking about some guy that she'd been seeing. And all of a sudden, off the stage in front of the barricade is Marcelo, whatever, that plays Domingo. And he goes, "Sabrina, I am here." And he was there. And so she brought him up. And like there were pictures of her. And he's dressed as Domingo. And there's pictures of them backstage where he's like, seductively laying out. He's got his hand on her thigh and stuff.
That's
and she's
funny.
all like curled around him. So they played into the Domingo thing the other night at MSG. That was pretty cool.
That's great.
Hats off to her. Very, very well done, Sabrina.
Well, you know what? Based on that alone, I'll move it to a 6. There you go.
Better. Yeah. So yeah, I like have heard of Sabrina Carpenter a lot recently. Like she just kind of came out of nowhere, at least in my the realm of what I have understood. but she's just been a big name here recently. Didn't totally, like you said, didn't really marry that up until I listened to the song and I'm like, oh, this is the Domingo song, right? Like you said, Brian, a lot of the things I agree with. I thought it was kind of like, fun little wordplay on some of the stuff, and what he can't sleep because he's always thinking about her. That's why it's called espresso. She's the espresso, whatever. That's cute. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's very good. Okay. Reminds me a lot of Ariana Grande. Like it's got strong Ariana Grande vibes specifically. So I mean, whatever. That's pop music in general. Something's working, and other people are gonna, be similar versions of that. But like you said,
Why so
kind of
many
middle.
people copy this podcast?
That's right.
Mhm.
That's right. That's right.
Mhm.
Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and
Mhm.
Sean.
Yep.
Yeah. They
Yep.
did what we
Wait
did.
for our
We
royalties.
see you.
Yeah, we were first. We were for before smartphones.
Mhm.
We absolutely were. But no, it was fine, but I gave it a 5. It was just like kind of middle of the road. It is, right? It's catchy. So, you did that. Good job. But yeah, it's yeah, I gave it a 5. I thought it was just so. Not exactly my cup of tea, but a very catchy song. So good enough.
All right.
So,
Mhm.
Dean.
All right. I'll blow through this one quick. Not a fan. It's not my deal. Not my bag.
Sure.
I'm annoyed by this whole generation of singing. I call it whisper singing. It's the wispy
Yeah.
voice sounding for girls. They
Sure.
all seem to sound the
Like
same.
I'm kind of cutesy, but I'm lazy about it.
Right.
Like it's kind
And
of
like,
like
I'm
yeah.
whispering all of my stuff.
Yeah.
It's just an average pop song. Yeah, it didn't blow me away. The old man of me was annoyed by it. Hell, the 20-year-old in me was annoyed by it.
Yeah.
And they took turns, because they had to change the
Yeah.
loop.
It's
But
no acid bath, that's for sure.
that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Right, John? Yeah.
But I did ultimately question what the hell am I listening to? What was my ultimate thing? I'm like, okay. I literally, I'll admit that it was the only one that I had a minute left. I'm like, okay, I've heard it.
Right.
I've heard enough.
I did it there.
It was okay, but it was below average.
Yeah.
So I give it a 4.
All
Okay.
right.
All right, Dean, lead us into number 3. Now that we've gone around with that one.
All right, coming in at number 3. Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish. Okay, so for this one, good vibe. But again, enough with the goddamn whisper singing. She's proven that she has a hell of a voice, hell of a range. I get where like maybe some lines you can whisper or sing, but Jesus, man, relax.
That's her style, though.
I know, but it's everybody's style, though. There's a giant gaggle of these girls singing like this.
You say gaggle because it's birds of a feather.
Let's be honest, I'm not that clever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Characters last episode. Thank you.
That's right. It's just generic, but good pop. Compared to the last one, I thought this was a good pop song.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Above average, or maybe about average. Again, still not my style. I give it a 5.
Nick?
Okay. I love this song. This song, I did not. I couldn't get it out of my head. I couldn't get it out of my head all day. It's so damn catchy. Ding, 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 ding. The beat of the song is just, it was in there from the time. So this one, I did not know that I knew it again until she just performed this on SNL like 2 weeks ago. This was one of the ones she performed live. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I recognize this song. And I really like it. Honestly, I really appreciate Billie Eilish. I feel like she's a new Lady Gaga in the way that like she is not bound to any style of music. I've heard like maybe 5 or 6 different songs from her and they're all fucking different. Every single one sounds like they could be by a different artist. And so I really like that. I have a lot of respect for her for that. And I like that she kind of just does whatever she wants to do and what she likes. And like Dean said, she's an incredible vocalist. We've heard that
Yeah.
before.
I've heard her just
I
belt out some shit.
Yeah, of the songs I've ever heard by her, though, this one's probably my favorite. I just really like the
Okay.
vibe of it. I really like the sound of it, and I gave it a 9. I couldn't get it out of my head all day. It's been in my head the entire day from the first. I listened to it at like 8 a.m. when I started going through the
I cannot wait to
songs,
be in your head.
and I couldn't get it out of there. I loved it. I loved it, and all day long I'm like, man, I really fucking like that song. I really like that song. So yeah, I'm gonna give that one a 9. I really, really like that one.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. This is my second favorite of the 5. So I gave this an 8.
Mine too. Yep.
Just Billie Eilish in general, I don't seek out new artists enough, but every time I hear her perform, now she's been on SNL a couple times.
Yes.
I think each
And she's
season, the last
hosted.
couple of seasons.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's hosted and been musical guest and done the double duty, all that stuff.
Talented on both rights, of course, but yeah, every time I hear her sing, it just seems like it's seamless to her. Very flawless vocals. She has incredible range, like you say. I mean, I understand your point with the soft singing and everything, but she just does it well, in my opinion. So
He does. Well, the only reason I kind of put it that way, I heard this song first. When I went down, I started in one and listened down.
Okay.
So I heard this song first. So my annoyance was more for the other song because I heard
It's happening again.
What's that?
yeah,
It's happening again. Someone else is whispering.
Right. But I heard
Yeah.
Billie Eilish, and I've heard her sing that way before. And like Brian said, she does it so well, and she does it better than almost anybody going right now. So that's my argument for that.
yeah. But yeah, enjoyable song. Yeah, everything you said, nice 5, great vocals, good lyrics. Yeah, 8 for me.
Nice.
All right.
Am I leading in the next one then? So,
Yes,
or
sir.
no.
Yep,
We leave off
you're
with
right.
you? Yeah. Okay. Number 2, we have "Die with a Smile" by Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga. This is the one and only song I had never heard before today. I have heard I was listening to another podcast not that long ago, and they were talking about you never think it's coming for you, age, that you're never, whatever. But they were talking the one day, and they were like, "Do you guys know what one of the most popular songs across all streaming platforms is right now? This 'Die with a Smile' song." And all 3 of them were like, "I've never heard of this song. I had no idea that Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga had a song together." It's good though. I liked it. I feel like you put those talents together, right? You're gonna have good performances. They're both good singers. They're both interesting. They're both, whatever. I don't know, but it was a little lackluster. I wasn't really taken with it. Again, good vocal performances. It's a fine sounding song to the ear. Certainly not bad. I enjoyed it, but it didn't really wow me in any way. It just kind of okay. There's a song by 2 of them together, and I gave it a 6. It really just kind of it like I said, that's all I can say about it. They're solid singers, and I like both of them as artists, but not really blown away by it. So,
Yeah,
Brian.
I'm on the same line with you. Yeah, I gave it a 7. Like you said, it's 2 of the 2 amazing vocalists in their own right, individually. They sound great together singing, no question. But yeah, very, very dramatic. And Allie and I actually listened to the 5 songs together. She was interested to listen with me, and we were both surprised that it seemed like this would be a song that would be in the Joker 2 soundtrack, "Die with a Smile," but it wasn't.
Oh yeah.
Maybe it
That
was
makes
something
sense.
she developed for it and didn't make it to the movie and decided to do it outside that. I don't know. But the title seemed like it would be from Joker 2, but it was
Yeah.
not. So, but compared to, go ahead.
Did you listen on Apple Music? You
Yes.
say? Were you thrown off by the cover art? Because I was a little bit.
Yeah, they're both like in a Western, like a 70s looking Western
Well,
outfit or something.
I'll explain that when it's my turn.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a little.
Yeah.
No, it didn't affect my listening. Doesn't affect my score, but it's just an added note. A little thrown off by the imagery of the. I'm not sure what's going on there.
And compared to the other songs as well, this one, and a lot of the other songs were very, it had more of a positive and easygoing vibe, and this one just
Mhm.
had a different vibe. So that probably threw off my rating as well because it just didn't hit as as it wasn't as fun to listen to as the other songs for me. So that's what got
Sure.
it a little bit lower rating as well. So Dean, would you kindly explain the cover art, please,
Well,
sir?
the cover art probably comes from the video. Like I said, I watch these on YouTube, and the video
Oh,
is them doing like a 1950s stage act of like from like a country western stage act, and
Okay.
he is dressed as like a 1940s 50s country music artist, and so is she. It's a weird, early vibe that doesn't match the song. I
Mhm.
don't know why they chose this, but they did. So that cover art is from the music video.
okay.
And I know, mainly because I don't listen to a lot of new music, and I'm very aware of this, but it always takes me by, surprise just how goddamn good Bruno Mars' voice is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes, just amazing. And Lady Gaga is just the same,
Hmm.
fantastic voice. I love the lyrics. I love the vibe of it. Like I said, it is a good throwback to old duets. You don't hear good just collaboration duets anymore like you used to, right? And one of my notes here, Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton would be proud of this. It is a throwback to that sort of feel and maybe that's what they were going for. You know what I mean?
Probably. Yeah.
Just thinking now, Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton being country western singers back in the day. Maybe that's what they were, maybe that's the feel that, they had. I'm not saying that it sounded country western, but it definitely had that old school duet feel.
Okay.
So I enjoyed it quite a bit. I like the style. I like, it wouldn't be something I would reach out for all the time, but I give it a 7.
Okay.
It's my second
Okay.
favorite.
Nice.
All right.
But probably mainly because how goddamn good Bruno Mars' voice is.
Sure.
Yeah.
A lot to do with that number.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
All righty. Then lead us into number 1 there.
The
Casey?
number one song this week.
Coming in at number 1, Billboard Top 100. We have, can't believe I'm going to say that in this voice,
Can't wait to hear. Yeah.
Bar Song by Shaboozey.
I couldn't wait to hear Casey Kasem say Shaboozey. Yeah.
Shaboozey. Fucking Shaboozey. What the fuck is Shaboozey? I was not expecting a country song, but I got one.
You did.
I didn't know that rap country collaboration, whatever you want to call it, was a thing, but it is.
Oh, it started a while ago. Lil Nas X, I feel like, really said it, and it's a thing.
I would call this song, without just being straight out mean, slightly below average. Not my deal, not my style, not even something that I would turn it off if it came back on. I give it a 2. I don't understand what I was listening to, and I refuse to know anything else about it.
All right. Wow. Yeah, there you
go. He got a 2.
All righty. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right.
Go right ahead.
So boozy.
We're going. I'm swinging so hard the other way. This has been the song of the summer. This is like, I fucking love this song. The first time I ever heard it, I was like, there is no reason that I, of all people, should like this song because I really hate country music. But fuck, I love this song. I fucking love. I listen to it probably at least 2 to 3 times a week, every single week. I just turn it on. I just want to hear it. I need it. I need it. It's like I fucking no. I love this song. I've been like, yeah, this song. I think I first heard it like the beginning of the summer when it first started popping off, and I'm like, it's interesting because I'm like, it's interesting to hear his voice with that music and it's a very country song. It's a very, and I'm like, there's really no reason I should like this, but fuck, like it just tickles all the happy parts of my brain. Like I absolutely love it. And yeah, we all love it. Well, actually, Robin hates it, but me and the kids like fucking blare this in the car, like sing it out loud. We fucking love this song.
I find many ways to reasons not to like your wife, but there's one I do. I like her for this reason.
So much so that like earlier, a few months back, I think I went and like listened to his whole album because I'm like, I like the song so much. I want to hear what is his is this a one-off? Like does he how does it go? He is a very country artist. Like it is, his album is country. And I did not like any song on it as much as I like this one. It was fine. It was a fine album, but yeah, this song is definitely where it hits. And it's a fucking 9.5, like easy. Fucking
Wow.
I only didn't give it a 10 because it's like not like the most like, it doesn't blow my mind in some like spectacular way where I'm like, I've never heard anything. But in some ways I haven't really ever heard anything like it. But yeah,
There's
man, I'm
a
huge fan of the song. When you first sent over the list, I was like, oh, my song is a fucking number one. Like there's Shabuzi. So yeah, yeah, 9.5. Like fucking love it. It's absolutely number one on my list. But Brian, thoughts on Shabuzi? We got a 2 and we got a 9.5. Where do you come down on it?
I'm closer with Nick on this one. So it was my favorite of the 5.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a fun song. It's just a fucking fun song. It's a good drinking song. It's a good fucking drinking song. Yeah.
It was fun. So I'm not a big country fan either per se, but the country I like the classic country.
USA.
And of the newer stuff, it's more, I just like the fun hanging out party type stuff.
Yeah,
and it definitely had that vibe. It just catchy.
And I really like his
fun.
voice too.
Yeah.
Like I like it. It's just, he's got a good voice too for it.
Yeah, if I just want to put on a song to make me feel good, hanging out, chilling out, having a beer, relaxing, that's the type of music that's easy to sit back and chill to. That type of vibe.
You feel like when I hear it, I feel like I'm in a fucking like bar and there's a bunch of like line dancing and like boot slapping. It just feels like a good fucking, like it's got a good rhythm to it. I don't know. It makes me feel good.
There you go. I liked it.
What'd you give it?
8.5.
8.5. Okay. All right.
Okay. All right.
There it is. Yeah.
Yep.
So there it is. Music of the day. Music of the day.
Top 100. Top 5 for November 21st, 2024.
But
Boozy.
Yep. That's the top.
Got that high of score.
But I think we all learned, though, talking through this, that we didn't, listening to newer music, there was definitely some stuff in there that we all enjoyed. Everything for us was about average or above.
Yeah. My lowest score was 5 because I was just like the one I disliked the most wasn't even that I disliked it. I was just it did nothing. It didn't move the needle, but it was, I get what it was, with Sabrina Carpenter, I get what it's going for, what it's trying to do. So, but yeah, all were enjoyable.
I would be curious if I listened to him in a different order. Because I listened to Shabubi earlier. He was my first one, and I didn't, that put a sour taste in my mouth. If I would have started at 5, which was Teddy Swims, but I've already heard that. I was already going to give that I actually only listened to it because I wanted to hear it again because I enjoy it so much. So I wonder how I would have saw that, in a different order. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you don't like it, you probably just don't like it.
I'm not saying Shabuzi would have been a wheelhouse at all. Actually, after listening to all the good ones, I probably would have given it a 0. Because I'm like, I've already heard what good music is. Now this horse shit, nothing.
I can't. It's hard for me to imagine. You can't. I can imagine you singing Shabuzi mowing the lawn at singing at the top. It's
someone
that type
pour
of
me
vibe.
out a double shot of whiskey.
Kenny Rogers, sir, and I will not stand for this. Wow. All right. It is what it is, boys. We We have modernized ourselves in one episode. Look at
That's
us.
right. That's right.
Ooh, Brian, can we start a fan club for Shibuzi called the Shiboises?
Ooh, there you go.
I really like that for you too.
No,
I
you
like
can't be in it.
No, I don't want to be in it. But just to know that name and
You can't be a Shiboise.
just to know that name exists, I'm a huge fan. I give your fan club a 10.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We'll settle for
There
that.
you go.
We'll take that.
There you go. Well, guys, we've wrapped up the top 5. Wrapped down? Is that a thing? Wrapped up the
down all
top
the time.
5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now it's time to wrap up this particular episode of the Convincing Idiots podcast.
That's right. Well, if you and Jack Daniels have a history and you need someone to pour you out a double shot of whiskey and you want to listen to a podcast, you need to listen to Convincing Idiots. That's right. The Shiboises and Dean.
So much.
Hashtag Shaboisies.
Feel
That
free
ain't
to
the name of this goddamn podcast. You've done something wrong.
Feel free to find us on all your favorite social media accounts. We are on the majority of them. You will simply find links to them by going to Google and typing Convincing Idiots Linktree, LINKTREE. I'm sorry, I was full disclosure.
And it
We're
makes sense.
small here. I couldn't shake the fact that I looked down at my post-it note and forgot RPM Bike Shop. So there's no elegant way to put this in. But if you are
Never.
looking for a electric bike for yourself, you need look no further
Yep.
than our friends at RPM Bike Shop. They are located in Carrollton, Ohio. You can find them on Facebook by searching RPM Bike Shop. You can go to their website, rpmbikeshop.com, or give them a ring-a-ding at 330-808-7792. That's how you find RPM Bike Shop. But again, you find our link tree by going to Google and typing Convincing Idiots Linktree, LINKTREE. You can find all that information and so much more on our website, which is convincingidiots.wordpress.com.
One more thing before you sign out, Nick.
Insurance.
Nope. I just had a random question that came to my mind. That I
Shablake
don't know if
insurance.
this is, we're at the end of the podcast. Who knows who's listening? So, could I test something out? Give me
Sure.
one thing. We'll go real quick around the horn. Give me one thing you learned.
One thing I learned about the Agatha thing, like that you blew my mind with the all the things in his room were things that he placed in the witch's road stuff. Like that now I like need to go watch YouTube videos and like rewatch episodes, I feel like.
Tell you, new rock stars. Eric
Yeah.
Voss breaks it down.
Okay.
Brian,
Definitely learned some shit.
what did you learn this week?
I learned that there's some good new music out there that I enjoyed.
What'd you
Very
learn,
good.
Dean?
I learned that I don't want to be part of the Shiboise fan club, but I am sure goddamn happy it exists.
Here, say, I learned that my friends have shitty taste in music.
No, I knew that. You can't relearn something.
We didn't even know who fucking Acid Bath was. Come on.
God, it
All right.
blows my mind.
God damn it.
Losers.
All right. Anyway, for this episode of Convincing Idiots, I'm Millennial Nick.
I'm Zennial Dean.
Gen X Brian.
Have we convinced you to open up your hearts and ears to some new music in your life and perhaps become a Shiboise? Oh my good Lord. Someone pull me up and tell me something.
I quit.
Gen X Brian here. Zennial Dean. Millennial Nick. If you like our stuff, give us a like and subscribe, and we may just send you a Polaroid of Millennial Nick's feet.
Thanksgiving is one of my more favorite holidays because there is no pressure on anything other than the mounting of the pressure of Christmas that looms. But it's not really, you know what I mean? Like Thanksgiving itself has no pressure. There's just it's go and eat and fucking watch football and chill out.
That's right.
It's a great day.
What's wrong with me? Because like, I don't give a shit about the pressure. I enjoy the pressure of Christmas. I enjoy the whole.
You have a partner that helps buy gifts or like that takes care of. I am Megan. I have to buy for 85 different people. So
fair.
it is a lot of fucking pressure.
That's fair.
And I want to enjoy it, but it's a lot.